So you've all seen this video. So this is my 1991 Jap Import 1.6 Mazda Mx5 from the Mx5 collection that we released April 2023. It's had quite a bit of work done between the Mx5 collection and now. The day before its MOT, we decided to take it out for one last rip because I knew it needed some rust repair doing, as most Mx5s do.
You just nearly took the phone out of my hand. Oh my god.
And my girlfriend Ronnie decided to beam it straight into a high curb, and with it being a low car, just bent all the control arms at the bottom and did a fair bit of suspension damage. So I knew it was coming off the road anyway, so I wasn't too phased about it. Took it off the road, decided to get extended lower control arms and cut knuckles to get more lock out of it, and then repaired every other bit that needed doing with it and fit poly bushes as well. We then decided to actually fix the rust on the car, so we did both rear sills on both sides, and then there was a patch of the chassis rail that needed doing. So we did that on my mum and dad's drive. That was quite fun to do in the rain. And then the front, mainly this arch, the front right arch, had a massive hole in it, so I decided to repair that as well. Whilst it was the middle of winter, we thought we'd take the engine out and do a full engine refresh on it. So we did all the seals and gaskets on it. We also fitted a new clutch and flywheel to it, and did a full flush of all the fluids. We then decided whilst it was out, we may as well stick a turbo on it. We got a hybrid GT2552 from On Boost. Got a Malian manifold and downpipe kit, and then made all the AN lines ourselves. So all the oil feed, return, water feed and return lines. Whilst the engine was out, we decided to paint the bay and do a bit of a clean bay. So we did a bit of a cable tidy up. It's been sat for about 4 or 5 months with the paint like this, so it's getting a bit dirty and a bit groggy, so we do need to clean it up a bit. But that's the last of our worries at the moment. After we'd put the engine back in, we had a pretty major electrical fault on it, where as soon as you put the battery on, connect both terminals up, it would just draw a load of power, and we didn't know where it was going to. So decided to troubleshoot that. Got the car in the unit yesterday, started troubleshooting it, managed to figure out the issue, kind of. Still don't know what was fully causing it, but we messed with some wires and managed to get it started for the first time in a long time yesterday.
Ready? Yep.
So we've still got a long way to go, but main things come to mind is I've got to get this front end built back up. So I've got the radiators to go back on, the intercooler to put on, and then the power steering to go back on. I've then also got the brake lines because I just had to cut them straight off when I started doing a bit of a clean bay and painting that up. Also got the loom I need to tidy up underneath as we were trying to troubleshoot the issue yesterday. The loom, we just took it straight off just to run it back and see where the issue was. So I've got to get that back up and tidy. Get all the connectors plugged into the gearbox underneath, put all new fluids in and a lot more. So first job I'm going to start with today is tidying that loom up across the PPF, and Ronnie's starting to remove the wrap on the bonnet. Fitted the loom quite nicely along the PPF. You can't really see it there, but it runs from the front of the car to the back of the car. Now onto the front. I've just put this top radiator hose in, and now I've got the bottom one. Now the bottom one, with where the turbo sits, it's having to run behind the turbo lines. I'm going to try and maneuver it around the best I can, but then this metal pipe here has to fit onto that bracket there, which, as you can see, the clearance next to the turbo is quite close. So now we're going to move on to doing the brake lines. So I'm going to have to refit the brake master cylinder and then start running all the brake lines. So I'm going to do the front two, and then the rear I'm going to have a hydro fitted. So I'll have to run it through into the front of the car and then into the hydro, from the hydro to the back.
Day 2 today of working on the Mx5. We came in a few days ago to get the brake lines done on the front. I ran one of them to the passenger side wheel, but we had to rush off, so I didn't get the chance to do the driver's side. So I'm going to jump on that today, and then Kelsey's going to get the car running and driving.
So I've found that there's a replacement hose that replaces kind of the two-piece hose with the metal piece in the middle that you can buy at both iRacing's. Probably run a bit nicer through the turbo, so I'll have to wait for that.
What's the plan now, Kels?
There isn't one. Josh is fixing fueling issues.
Hi, hello.
I am trying to put that in this.
What's that?
This is airfare. This is wideband. Even though this isn't my job I need to be doing, so I'm not doing it now. Oh, Josh. It's like it was made for it.
In there, well, that heavy. But you can just get it. You got a file. So you flatten that up.
Yeah.
Which then you can fit the bolt nicely into there. Actually, yeah, just set it forward a bit. You don't even have to notch anything. That'll look pretty. Oh! If you get thinking, that'll actually just hold it clamped. You don't even need to mount it to the car.
So, fit this, we realised that we can just literally put it in this hole, clamp it down. I'm just going to cut this off, take this back off, cut this off, and put it back on, and give that a little bit of paint.
Right. Are you ready to drive? There's nothing like
That hose on the top is loose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we get a rough size of a spanner on it? With some tape in it?
Can you teach me how to hover one day?
Teach you how to hover?
He's got no legs.
Well, I keep taping my finger to the thing. Go.
Stinky. Stinks.
It's not all the brake fluid coming out, is it?
Yeah, boy.
We need a fan in there.
You could hear it misfiring, yeah. That's another problem we can solve at another time.
There's something coming out of here as well.
One. Your gasket's a bit but oh well. We knew that already, didn't we?
Right, so I've finally got the coolant bottle on with the hose ran in, runs down there, under there, and the coolant bottle just sits in here, and it sits under there. So we made like a little mount for it, so it literally is just clamped in, gave it a bit of paint. Not the best job, but it'll do. Josh is fitting a new fuel pump, and they're unwrapping more of the car.
Wait. Boy, Logan Paul. No, cancel, man, I'm nervous.
What are we doing, Josh?
Edging, brother, I'm edging, brother. Cut your Cut your
Josh is fitting the new fuel pump.
I'm not edging. See, you can't do it to me.
Josh is fitting the new fuel pump. Do you know how this goes in?
No.
Because why does it spin the whole way?
If you hold it straight, I can probably turn.
Yeah, go on.
If that's working. And then once it's slightly threaded, you should be able to you get a spanner on it. Yeah, that's working. That's sound.
Is that how long it should go on for?
There's no shut off. Okay, and that. On again.
When you say there's no shut off, is there supposed to be one on it?
Usually from stock your ECU will click it off in about 3 to 5 seconds. Yeah. Well, you get fuel, so that's fine. Runs better on brake cleaner.
So Josh has fixed the fuel issue we were having where we were getting no fuel.
Well, I didn't crank that, I just turned that to ignition. There's a bit of stuff, mate.
And Josh is going to do the downpipe and midsection now.
Can you just give me a sound check?
Yeah. Alright, so Josh has ran all the vacuum lines in, filled up the gearbox oil, but we ran into some issues with the downpipe which Josh started running in earlier on. We've got a huge gap here, and there's a bolt down there which if we were able to pull it in a bit further it would close the gap, but we can't get a socket on it, so therefore we can't do it. Yeah, we're not sure what to do with that, so we're just thinking that over. Josh found an issue where the way he'd fixed the fuel pump was causing the starter to stick on when you put the ignition on, so he's sorting that out now. And then I think I'm going to run the hydro lines in. We had to send Veronica and Chris to go and get a new clutch master cylinder because the clutch master cylinder was broke. They're also getting me a brake master cylinder whilst they're there because I think the brake line for that side is threaded inside there, so I'm just going to replace that one part of it, I think. So yeah, there's the nicely neatly ran vacuum hoses, so one for the boost gauge and one for the map. Here they are now with the parts. I'm going to bend this up and Veronica's going to have fun making new brake lines. I believe you're taking this one.
Yep.
Is that thread? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's it.
Some tasty thread there. There you go. Make sure you get my boost gauge and my hose.
Yeah. Right. See you guys. Bye bye.
Get on. So I've just run in the rear line for the hydro. So that's running down here. You can kind of see it there. And then Josh is running the front line. Just going from here all the way along there, through a little hole there, and then out to the front. Master cylinder is now in with new clutch line ran in. Josh is still running the hydro line. And it's done. Cool. So I've adjusted the handbrake at the rear so we have some stopping power. Josh is fitting the wideband, and then I'm assuming he's going to run the lines through. It's coming together. Hopefully it'll be running and driving today, maybe. We'll see.
Today's been a long day. I've done the brake lines. We finished taking the wrap off with Chris, and we helped the boys with some bits.
I have adjusted the rear handbrakes, so then we've actually got brakes if we do want to take it out of the unit. I've fitted the radiator properly. We did the downpipe in the midsection, still need to adjust a bit on the downpipe. And yeah, did a load of other bits, little bits like the wideband and ran vacuum hoses. Josh fixed the fuel pump issue, so that's all working fine now.
Kelsey's not very happy because he wanted it out and running out the unit today, which hasn't happened.
The ECU doesn't want to be read by the laptop, so therefore we can't check whether there's actually a good map on it, so then we don't end up causing issues with the engine. I was supposed to get a pipe today, a lower radiator hose, so then we could actually put coolant in it because I don't really want to run the car without coolant, and that didn't end up. That fell through, so therefore we couldn't fit that properly. We have an issue with brakes, bunch of issues with master cylinders and stuff, and the clutch master cylinder as well. We ended up swapping out the clutch master cylinder for a different clutch master cylinder, which ended up being off a 1.8 UK spec, which is apparently different than a 1.6 Jap spec. So yeah, we have to either switch that back to the old one or buy a new one.
Every time we did something and we ran into an issue, and it's like we've took 2 steps forward, 1 step back every single time. But at least we're moving with the car, and hopefully soon it will be running and driving.
May as well have just bought another Mx5. The amount of money I've spent on this car, may as well have just bought a different Mx5.
I'm running one.
I'm running one, yeah, with a turbo.
Nice.
They've probably been cheaper.
But it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the experience. Right, let's get out of here.